Hello, welcome to my video. In this video, I would like to answer three main questions about politics in Indonesia. They are: first, what is the political culture of Indonesia? Second, how is the political regime in Indonesia under Soeharto era? And the third, what is the political party system and how is the election process in Indonesia? Now, let's get started from the first question. What is the political culture of Indonesia? It's divided into three. First, traditional political culture. Second, Islamic political culture. And the third, modern political culture. The traditional political culture in the late 20th century, there were as many traditional political cultures in Indonesia as there were ethnic groups. Nevertheless, the similarity to the Japanese kingship model of Soeharto increasingly paternalistic rule reflects the Japanese cultural underpinnings of the new order. Although Indonesia was a cultural mosaic, the Japanese, with more than 14.1% of the total population in 2000s, were by far the largest single ethnic group. Indonesia has 7 presidents and all of them are Japanese and are Muslim. The Japanese fill the most important roles in government and every. The officer corps in particular was Japanized, partly as a result of Java's central role in the development of modern Indonesia. For example, in Indonesia, 5 leading institutions of higher education were located on Java. Second, Islamic political culture. In 1980 till 2010, 87.1% of Indonesia population identified themselves as Muslim. This number was down from 19.5% in 1955. Islam in Indonesia is not monolithic. The majority of Indonesia's statistical Muslims are to varying degrees of self-awareness, believers in kebatinan. The principal organization reflecting the traditionalist outlook was Nahdlatul Ulama, founded in 1926, claiming more than 30 million members. In 1992, Nahdlatul Ulama was the largest Muslim organization in Indonesia. Modernist or reformist Islam in Indonesia was best exemplified by the Muhammadiyah, founded in 1912, when the spirit of the Muslim reform movement began in Egypt in the early 1900s reached Southeast Asia. Third, modern political culture. Modern political culture is the reverse of the traditional political culture. This political culture has been more in rational thinking and tried to live the character of a particular ethnic background or religion. Modern political culture is also powerful and influential. In a new order era, there are 2 objectives. They are stability and progress. Inside it, there are various subcultures such as a group of bureaucrats, intellectual, and military. In fact, there are only 2 groups. Bureaucrats and military are the most influential in policymaking in the new order. But the new order ended with the monetary crisis and the massive demonstrations in several cities, and the most famous riot until now is the tragedy Trisakti on 12 May 1998. Second question, how is the political regime in Indonesia under Soeharto era? Soeharto was known authoritarian leadership and many history of violence. Soeharto regime was extraordinarily stable compared with its ancestor. Elements of Soeharto's rule included a military deeply involved in politics and business, patronage, cronyism, indoctrination of school children, democratic smokescreen covering up a rule by a single leader, and consensus based on fear and terror. Soeharto government is focused on economic development. Relation with the West, which had been destroyed by Sukarno, was restored, thereby allowing the flow of foreign aid desperately needed to enter Indonesia. When Suharto took over Indonesia, the country was in need of some stability. The archipelago had experienced severe turmoil and faced mass starvation. Some 60% of the population live in poverty. Suharto brought stability, economic development, family planning, and widespread literacy to Indonesia. He built schools and highways and improved Indonesia's financial institution and communication system. For a long time, Indonesia seemed like a model of third world development. The economy grew, while population growth, poverty, and illiteracy were reduced. Third question, what is the political party system and how is the election process in Indonesia? Indonesia has been running a multi-party system since Indonesian independence. The multi-party system is the existence of political parties or more than two parties within a country or government. The system emphasizes the role of the party in the legislature so that the role of the executive is often weak and indecisive. This is because there is no single party that is strong enough to form a government alone, so it was forced to form a coalition with other parties. Since Soeharto became president in 1967, political parties considered as a cause of political instability that occurred in the 1950 to 60. Government effectiveness and stability issue is not only influenced by the personality of the president and vice president only. Effectiveness and stability of government is also influenced by the system of government and the implementation of party system. As recently, the meta problem in the context of the election in Jakarta, Ahok accused of blasphemy or insulting one of the verses of the Quran, although in reality Ahok's sentence was intended to the people who use Al-Ma'idah verse to being misled, instead of stating that the verse was a lie. This case is becoming a huge problem because there is a political interest by one or several parties who have its own purpose, which aim to thwart Ahok to become governor of Jakarta. Now I will explain about election process. The election process in Indonesia is carried out by the people, so we are free to choose who and what party, while the selection process conducted in direct, general, free, confidential, honest, and fair. Election is considered as the most real form from democracy as well as the most concrete manifestation of public participation in the implementation of the state. Therefore, the system and election almost always be the primary focus for through the arrangement. The system and the quality of the election is expected to actually embody the democratic government.